hope this message finds you in good health, and good wealth, and good spirits. I wanted to get a message out for you for, let's see, this is going to be for December 17th. All right, December 17th. I know it's coming out a little late, but I'm just super crazy busy. So hopefully this reaches you by midday. We'll see. Ooh, manifest, first card out. Love it, love it. So I am feeling a lot of energy that you may have to just push through, because there may be some challenging points and some obstacles that come, because we do have, I believe the sun is in Sagittarius, the moon is in Virgo, and I believe they are squaring. So this is going to maybe pose some unexpected obstacles. But on the other hand, you have some things that are sort of bringing in some unexpected opportunities and gains, possibly something financial, maybe even just beneficial relationships and things like this. But it is, if you do run into that, I would urge you to just continue to push through, because you can absolutely manifest in this period. It may be a little bit harder, you know, but anything worth anything worth it is worth working for, right? Or at least that's how I view it. But yeah, I'm seeing that there's probably going to be some unexpected obstacles and unexpected noises. The puppy in there, I apologize, y'all. I also apologize for the audio. I'm so sorry. I forgot the microphone. That should be a little bit better. Okay. So that today is going to be an amazing day to practice self-discipline, to be humble, practice restraint, okay, because there's probably going to be quite a few people coming to test you, test your patience, test your gangster, but I feel like you're going to be able to handle it, because today you should be feeling overall pretty organized and ready to tackle things. I'm thinking this is also going to be a really good time to multitask, because you will be so organized and sort of ready to go. Also, this is going to be a great time for brainstorming. I was seeing a lot of Page of Pentacles in the pre-shuffle, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm pretty confident that this is a good time to brainstorm, but not only brainstorm, start implementing those ideas and thoughts, start putting those things into action for sure. And again, you should be able to do both pretty easily, because you should be organized enough to start multitasking. And again, this is general, so this is of course not going to resonate with everyone, but I'm hoping, because it is such a good energy, a good feeling energy, that it resonates with most of you. I don't know if that made that better or worse. I don't know. Let's see what we get here. It's a really good day to meditate. Ooh, death. It's a really good day to meditate and start new things, put some things to an end. It's a really good day, especially coming into tomorrow, to start cutting cords and reassessing things. It's a really good time to break away from relationships that you know are not serving you. Especially, I've been getting a lot of cord cutting, if you believe in that sort of thing, symbolism and messages for people. Like, it's time to go ahead and release it, and it's a really, really good time to do that. Okay, it's a really good time to meditate. It's a really good time to dive deep in your spiritual self. It's a good time to dive deep and connect with family. You'll probably feel more giving overall with family. I posted about this yesterday. With me, I've been cooking a lot, because when I start missing people, and when I start missing people that have passed away, and things like that, I find myself wanting to be in the kitchen more, you know, but be that part of me, that nurturer, that role. And it's like people in my family really, really giving to, even friends, people that I know. It's people that I know, or even like sort of have some type of acquaintance relationship with, like they're in my vicinity. I'm really, really tolerant and giving and nice, and you know, I might even say hi to you. I don't normally say hi to people. I just don't. I'm just in my own world. When I leave, I have a task, you know, but in this type of energy, I might actually speak, you know. But not if I don't know you. Not if I don't know you. Get from around me. If I don't know you, like, I'm gonna smile at you most likely, but I I don't really have any business. I don't feel like we have any business speaking to one another if it's not business. Do you know what I mean? And I'm definitely not going to be tolerant of that. But as far as your close relationships, your significant others, your close friendships, and your family, this is a great time to be involved, and it's a great time to sort of look to your higher self as well. A lot of feminine energy coming in, so much feminine energy coming in. It's important, I think, to be open-minded. The Seven of Cups. Now, it is coming in reverse. Okay, right as I say, it's important to be open-minded. So, and I was just fixing to say, too, I'm getting a lot of, like, visionary, imagination, creativity type of energy. And I think it's super important. You've got to be imaginative. You've got to be a visionary to put something in place, right? However, it's important to keep your goals realistic, okay? So, if you are dreaming and brainstorming on building a business, but it's not going to happen overnight, you need to set out a plan. And I think it's important to keep those goals realistic, and to keep, I'm seeing something like, not synchronistic is not the word. What is the word? I can't think of the word, but because I'm not hearing it, I'm seeing it. And for those of you that are confused, let me just stop right here, because this has been, and I'm going to address this on my live later on. But when I say I am hearing, it is because I am hearing. There's nothing to interpret there. I mean what I say. When I say I am hearing, it is because I am actually hearing. When I say I am seeing, it is because I am actually getting visions and I am seeing. And then when I am showing you the cards, that's an interpretation of the cards. So there are three things going on. There's a channeling going on, which involves seeing visually with my mind's eye, hearing, like I actually hear it. And then there is the interpretation of the cards that are coming out. So apparently there's some confusion, and I didn't know that all needed to be explained. But when I say I am seeing, it is because I am seeing, not what I am seeing in the cards, is what I'm actually seeing. When I say I'm hearing, it is what I am hearing. And when I am showing you the cards, you'll know because I'm interpreting the cards. People, let me see. That's what I'm telling you. I have no tolerance and no for people that I don't know that are hitting me up and saying weird things to me. Like, and it's not just one person, it's several people. So I do understand that for the past few days or even weeks, there's been quite a bit of confusion. And it could be, I'm not really sure, but there's something off with the communication or the way that it's getting through. So you may come up against some obstacles and some people want to push you back. All I can say is a CYA. I've been saying that for 2 months now in personal readings. Cover your ass. And like what I say to these people is show me the receipts. Show me the receipts, because everything I say nearly is recorded. It's live. It's documented. It's written down. You could see it. It's right there. So anyway, it's important that you get the vision, and then you make it into action. You put it into action. But what I am seeing is like a number pattern. It's sort of like a connect the dots. And I want to say synchronistic, but it's not in sync. It's something else, and I cannot think of the word. But what I am seeing is like from point A to point B, then point B to point C, but it's in numbers. So 1, 2, 3, and it's also in patterns. Sequential. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Sequential order. So it's like you wouldn't build a house without first building a foundation. You wouldn't build that foundation without first leveling the ground. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's really important to have those visionary moments and to have that imagination and to use that intuition. And because I'm seeing somebody like everyone around them seems a little bit lost. It looks like they're in a race, and they're like down on the mark, you know, that stance that runners get. But there's no person to start the race. There's no light. There's no nothing. And it's sort of like this instinctual, like I'm seeing this one person kind of close their eyes and zone out, like almost like some Karate Kid type shit, where it's like they're gonna know when to go. They won't need to hear the gun, they won't need to hear a siren or see a light or whatever. They will internally know when to go. And I'm seeing this like for you, as in you'll know when to jump, you'll know when to put these things into action. I'm even hearing because I'm hearing you'll know when to make that call. And I'm seeing for some of you, it's like someone actually picking up a phone. So for some of you, it's like making a call, like, like sort of an executive decision. And for others of you, it's actually making a phone call. The Empress. I'm telling you, the first card out was Manifest. And now you have the Empress with Death, Seven of Cups in the reverse, and the Empress. So much feminine energy, so much manifestation, absolute abundance, and unexpected abundance. Remember that, because you're going to have unexpected obstacles and people trying to push you back. It's very important that you push through. And even these people that are pissing me off, I'm trying very, very hard to stay humble and to keep the communication line open. I'm trying to keep the dialogue open, but very firm, if that makes sense. Like very matter of fact, but very, very firm, but also open. I don't want to shut people down, but it's also important that you don't think that you're going to come at me and twist my words and have me feeling like I did something wrong, you know? So like, I don't come at you like that. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, but you will have that. You will have people trying to do that to you. And on the other hand, it's important for you to go to the higher place. Don't be a pushover. Do not be a doormat. Let people know where you stand, but also try to keep those communication lines open. Try to keep that dialogue, open. Try to keep an open mind. Some people just have an off day. Some people, I know this to be true for a lot of people that watch me. They actually don't watch me. They actually put me on Bluetooth on a speaker in the house or in the vehicle, and they drive or they clean. They're not actually watching me, so they're doing other things. So they may catch a word or two and then think they heard something and be too lazy or too busy to play it back, and they run with that, and that's not actually what I said. So that's something to think about too. Like, you never know where a person's at mentally and or even physically. So I feel like this is a lesson for me too. I never take myself out of these readings, but to sort of stay open and stay humble in that way, because I think this is an amazing time once again for manifestation. But again, you're going to have miscommunication and obstacles rising up, and I just think it's very, very important to push through, because I think it's really, really going to pay off. Okay, you got the Two of Coins in the reverse position and the Eight of Coins in the reverse position. Let me get one more card on top of this stack. The Fool. Okay, so what I'm getting here with the Two of Coins and the Eight of Coins in the reverse position, some of you might have tried a lot of, this is going to go back to the Death card that we got in the beginning, okay? Some of you may have tried to balance things out again and again and again with a situation or a person, okay? And every time you go, maybe at it with a new approach. You may be dealing with a person that for whatever reason the communication is just off, so you try to go at a new approach. Or maybe if it's a significant other, maybe your sex life, excuse me, has been off, so you try to go with a different approach or spice it up. At a job, you may be not getting along with a coworker, or having some miscommunication between you and management, or even you and the people beneath you. So you'll try again and again and again in new ways to rebalance this. And I'm seeing here that for whatever this is, it is time to let it go. And I just had this conversation last night. I don't always like to use the words healing, like this is an amazing time for healing, because when you need to heal something, it implies that it is sick or broken. And some things just are the way that they are, and they're not necessarily sick or broken. So it's very important that you understand the difference, and that's kind of the energy that I'm seeing here. You don't need to continue to try to balance it out and go at it in a new way, in a new way, in a new way. It's not sick and it's not broken. Let it go. That's the way that it is. Let it go. Let it die. It's not meant for you, but there's so much more out there that is meant for you. There is so much more. This journey that we're getting ready to head into in 2020, or this new part of this next phase, however you want to identify or interpret that. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful, but not if you're hanging on to a bunch of corpses. And I know that may seem like a really sort of like to the ears, you know, corpse is not really a word that people like to hear, and it seems very harsh on the ears. But I feel like for those of you that are not letting go, maybe it's time you hear some of those more harsh terms. Maybe it needs to be that harsh for you to understand how real and how important this is. If you catch yourself bitching about the same thing every day, then it's probably not meant for you. You probably need to change something. If you catch yourself constantly arguing and bickering with a person, then it's probably you need to find a better way to communicate, or take a break from this person, or whatever title or relationship that you have with this person most likely needs to evolve or dissolve, okay? If you find yourself just extremely happy when a person leaves you, when a person leaves your space and you are happier than when they were in your space, probably time for you to get the fuck on. Sorry, not sorry. And I know that seems really, really harsh. And it is. And it is for a good reason. It's interesting because you got immunity, prayers, and surfacing. So earlier I was going to say something about some of you may not be like as hungry as you normally are. I don't know why that's coming through, but there's something with the hunger or the appetite, or even your appetite may be changing. So you may want more meat or more vegetables, or you may want to cancel out, not starches altogether, but like specifically with me, I can't always eat potatoes and rice, even though I absolutely love it. It's very hard for me to digest. I recently tried to put meat back in my diet. That was a flop, but I'm able to do fish. So what I'm getting is like a lot of sort of your body's needs and sensitivities and things will possibly be changing, and for good reason. With this immunity card, I'm actually getting like the immune system, okay? And some of you may have autoimmune diseases, and I don't know what it's called, but it's like, is it mono eating? I don't know what it's called, but it's like where you eat one thing. I'm not suggesting anything that drastic without the care of a physician, but there's definitely something here with switching up the way that you eat to sort of better control an autoimmune disease. Of course, that's only going to be for a number of you, a specific group, but the immune system altogether is very important here. And I am seeing a sensitivity shift. And if you'll notice, if you'll go back in my readings, when we have large shifts, that's something that usually comes up. The immune system, the appetite, the sensitivities. So when it's like as above, so below. So when we are feeling much more intuitive, when we're dreaming more, when we're more sensitive, more empathetic to others around us, when we're feeling all of these things, it only makes sense that your physical body is going to become more sensitive to foods and drinks and dyes and laundry soaps and things like this. So that is something to look at for some of you there. I'm feeling like this is a really good energy. If you're trying to switch something up, if you're trying to break away from something, be it sugar, whatever it is, it could be alcohol, it could be if you, I mean, you could eat too much of anything. You can overdo anything. Yes, you can eat too much fucking kale. All right. Yes, you can. This is a really good time to do that. And it's a really, really good time to adjust. And I'm hearing retrain. Well, it looks like your mind, they're showing me the mind and the physical body. Oh, that's another thing. When I say they're showing me, it's because I see beings actually like showing me things as well. So maybe there's 4 things going on here. Sorry. Oh, people. Okay, and then you got prayers and surfacing. So a lot of the things that you've been praying about, meditating on, just focusing on consciously or subconsciously are now going to start surfacing. Okay, and those could be some of the unexpected obstacles, right? You may not realize how much you've focused in a particular area or on a particular thing. Okay, you may not realize, like if you call your friend however many times a day, a week, and you bitch about your job, every time you're bitching about your job, or you're bitching about your sex life, or you're bitching about your significant other, or you're bitching about your dog, or you're bitching about your kids, every single time, or you're bitching about your finances every single time, you may not realize just how unhappy you are. Because of course everyone needs to vent and everyone has a bad day, and that's kind of not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about excess. I'm talking about all the time. These things are going to start surfacing, because what I'm actually seeing someone like a hen on the phone, gabbing to a friend, while their significant other is at work. And I'm seeing that person, and it really looks like Whoville. I'm seeing them like, honey, I'm home, and the phone goes down and everything is happy, right? And then you go on about and you don't really think about all the things that you bitched about. You go and you make dinner and you do whatever. This is how I'm seeing it. It's like, so you really don't realize how much you've spit into existence until now, when it starts to surface, because it will be put in your face. These are going to be some of the unexpected obstacles. So a lot of the things that have been talked about, thought about, and focused on are going to start surfacing, especially for those of you that have had so much trouble actually putting an end to what you know is no longer practical. You cannot be completely unhappy in a situation, 95% of the time, and then stay there doing nothing different and expect it to get better. That doesn't make any sense. So for those of you, I'm feeling very strongly, there are going to be some things start surfacing, and you're probably going to, especially the more in touch you are. I apologize for the puppy. He's being crate trained, and he's just now 12 weeks. Starting to come up that you will no longer be able to ignore. And it would not surprise me if you started to get very nervous or uneasy. Some of you may even be getting nauseous or just feeling uneasy. I mean, I wouldn't ignore it. There's definitely something coming. Okay, so we're going to get a couple more cards and we're going to get out of here. The Knight of Wands in the reverse position. Right before I turned that over, because it did fall face down, I heard think. And even now I'm hearing Aretha Franklin, You Better Think, with the 10 of Coins in the reverse position. Okay, this is starting to get very personal for someone, and I kind of don't want to go there. But there will be some changes domestically, for the better, for the worse. You really need to think about your actions. You need to think about your words. You need to think about what you're doing. I'm even hearing who you're using. Okay, with the Ace of Swords, you need to be very clear going forward if for nothing else, for yourself. Okay, if for nothing else, for yourself. I love you all so much. Thank you for allowing me to connect with you, and I will see you next time.